Hello, my name is Cailin Stauffer, and my partner Jammilex Rivera and I will be going over solar power and solar electricity generation around the world. So, looking big first, the largest solar park in the world is the Bandla Solar Park in the Thar Desert in India. It's about 22 square miles wide, which is, for reference, about a third of the size of Washington, D.C., so it's very large. As you can imagine, deserts obviously get a lot of sun, so this is kind of an ideal place for a solar park. This desert specifically ended up being pretty ideal. Obviously, it's very hot. There's a lot of wind. The soils are infertile. There's not very much water, so there's not very many people living there. So there's this giant open space that gets a lot of sun. So it's perfect for a giant solar park. And the generative capacity is about 2,245 megawatts. So this area is able to get a lot of sun and produce a lot of energy for India and for the world. So how are solar panels like the ones in the Bandla Solar Park able to convert sunlight from the sun into electricity? Well, it's mainly from this really cool technology called photovoltaic cells. These cells are composed of layers that interact with the sun, and they're able to take incoming heat and photons and bring it through the semiconductors within the photovoltaic cell, and then those semiconductors are able to convert it into electricity and flowing current. And with that, after it creates the electricity, it goes to two main sources, one being storage, mainly through batteries, and then the other is going to consumers who are able to use electricity from the utility grid for their personal electricities.
Thank you, Cailin. Now let's talk about solar power and its contribution to the U.S. energy mix as of 2022. Solar falls within the category of renewable energy, which makes up about 13% of the total energy source available for U.S. consumption. Within that category, we can see that solar makes up about 14.2% of renewable energy. We can likely assume that that will increase in the near future as people are wanting to push towards reducing carbon emissions and their overall carbon footprint. As we see the push towards solar or electric vehicles, we can see that solar will likely increase. Right now, it does have its competitors such as hydroelectric, wind, and biofuels. But overall, solar it's very innovative, it's still very new, and it has a very prominent future. Now let's talk about some of the benefits and drawbacks of solar power. Solar power offers several significant benefits. Firstly, it is one of the cleanest energy sources available. By emitting no greenhouse gases or pollutants, it contributes to the reduction in air pollution and while also combating climate change. Additionally, sunlight is a globally abundant resource, making solar power accessible in virtually all regions of the world. The use of solar panels can also lead to substantial cost savings for consumers, as it can significantly reduce their energy bills. However, solar power does come with its own drawbacks. It is highly dependent on weather conditions, making it less reliable on cloudy or rainy days. Sunlight is also only available for about half of the day, limiting the continuous generation of energy. Furthermore, solar panels are also currently less effective than some other energy sources, meaning it takes a larger amount of surface area to generate the same amount of power as those other sources, which can make it costly and space-consuming. In terms of renewable or finite nature, solar power is considered an infinite and clean resource as long as the sun is alive, which it is expected to be for billions of years. The sun's energy output is currently greater than humanity's current and future needs, making solar power a virtually limitless and sustainable source of energy as long as we have the technology to harness it. This concludes our presentation. We gathered much of our information from the EIA website, which is the U.S. Energy Information Administration. We hope you enjoyed this presentation over solar power energy.